for all the many interested viewers.
Yes, yes, for sure. I should as well. I will as well. I will tell them they can go to either one of ours. I'm perfectly fine. Are you posting in content? Live streams?
Yeah. Yep. Content.
Oh well, no. I'll remove my um, link. That way, I'm not taking up the whole entire page. There we go. There we go. Very professional stream. Week one AD2L contender power rankings of some sort, some content with Max and
Content.
I.
Because Mango ditched. All right.
Yeah, I don't know where you want to start. Top to
Well, I mean,
bottom,
yeah, let's go
or
top to bottom of week one. Up first, there's Mist Gaming versus Forglower. Um, I predicted this is going 2-0 the other way. I figured, I mean, obviously, pretty much all my predictions for week one were wrong.
oh,
Um, but if we go to the Dota buff, uh, it was or the first game was surprisingly quick. It was only 25 minutes. Very, very convincing for Forgor. I have no idea what went wrong for Mist.
I thought this was the game to watch because I thought Miss Gaming is a pretty good team. Like I thought these are both teams primed for top tier status, and they kind of got shat on.
My reasoning behind ranking Forgor so low was that they were always kind of like middle of the pack, kind of it seemed in Contender last couple seasons, and since the difficulty of Contender went up this season, I figured they'd be overshadowed by the newer newcomers. But both these games were very, very convincing for Glort. Um, seeing a lot of Bloodseeker and a lot of Witch Doctor showing up.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of Bloodseeker played. I kind of was looking at heroes played, and not too many. It seems like a very small pool of heroes being played this first week of AD2L.
Yeah, but yeah, both games were very much in Forgort's favor. They seem to have played really well. Um, see in the next couple weeks how both these teams shake down versus other teams, but right now Forgort's looking pretty strong. Not much to say about that. Uh, next up was Team Retro versus Season 26 champs. I cast this last night, and that one was an interesting one. I was definitely surprised by Team Retro. They completely new team. Like they didn't even have a roster. They still don't have a roster. I don't think. Okay, no, they finally got 5 players up. They had to play with a couple stand-ins last night, and let me check.
Wait, wait,
Okay,
wait,
one of
wait,
the.
wait. Team Retro 2-0 season 26 champs.
Oh yeah,
Oh
it was
my
pretty
god.
cool.
I didn't notice this upset.
Um, looks like one of those players they played was now a permanent member of the roster. This Cash guy is 1,000 games on tech. He's master tier. That one was an interesting one because first game, Team Retro hit season 26 champs with some hardcore cheese. They had techies, they had a tinker, they had a naga. The naga and the techies were both master tier. These guys are ready to take the game late, super, super late. And season 26 had a pretty it looks like they had a plan to end the game early. They went with a full a drow strat, but it wasn't enough. There was definitely some kind of back and forth for the first 40 minutes. But once it hit 40 minutes, Naga was too big. The Techies and the Tinker, they just had so many hexes on that team. Tinker had a hex, Naga had a hex, and then Ogre had his hex that he's multicasting as well. It was just disgusting.
To be honest, I'm looking at this game. I know you watched it, and I'm trying to like kind of glance at their pub profiles right now. Man, they're not. That's so weird. I really, and to be fair, I think season 26 champs is a pretty what a name, but Team Retro, that's Dill's team.
Nope. Dill was standing in.
Oh, Dill was standing in.
You
Oh,
could tell
I
because he
was
was
like,
playing offlane that game one and in position 5 game 2.
oh, they won, so they didn't even have like proper positions.
Yeah, they played completely different positions both games. I think the only similarity was the mid.
Was there like a
No,
timing?
not even.
Was there timing that was off for season 26 champs with the
Um,
Drow?
Looking at it, it just feels like season 26 champs had no team coordination. They were all over the place. Team Retro looked like they had a plan and they stuck to that plan and they were able to execute according to that plan.
Yeah.
Season 26 though, they were kind of just all over the place. They were taking bad fights. They weren't able to respond to Team Retro's aggression properly. And if there's one core factor that I'd pin it on, it's the fact that their offlaner kind of just plays like a farming one.
You're talking about season 26?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I don't know what's going on with the Huskar, Drow, Viper, and yeah, that's something. When
I think
I
it was
when I played
even
with
more.
Rhino,
Or when you played with Rhino, what position did you play?
he played three, and he's definitely a
Okay,
farm heavy three. Monkeys
because
forever type guy.
game number two, I mean, game number two, Team Retro did a much more traditional draft. Once again, you're seeing another Bloodseeker, and season 26 champs, they had Rhino on a lone druid, and this guy just did nothing but farm. You can see he had 11k more net worth than the position one, Mango.
Hmm.
And this guy was nowhere to be seen in any of the fights. He was just always farming, 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 farming. And he got to a scary point of farm where his bear was just chewing up the Wraith King, guy who only died 4 times. He was getting destroyed by this bear, but it was just like at this point, it's just one hero,
Yeah.
and they weren't able to hold it.
So this second game, I'm thinking by draft, I think season 26 champs should lose. I think they should lose purely by draft. But this game got to 52 minutes. I like
Why,
that.
why,
Like 40 plus minutes, I think, is when season 26 should be able to kind of take over the game. You're asking why I think they should have lost, or like
why would you think the draft is an instant loss? Or
just their
not?
their three cores. And you look at Team Retro's, like Team
Well,
Retro's timing is way faster
okay, but
than.
if you swap out the lone druid for any other hero, do you still think the draft is a loss?
Uh, Depends. When was Lone Druid picked? That'll 17th.
17. Yeah.
So you don't know your off lane you're going against. So let's just say they pick Wraith King. You know,
It might have been a potential flex. Maybe they're
yeah,
planning on running him mid. I don't know, but yeah,
21st is
it's just
tied. So you don't have two safe lanes. But Bloodseeker's showing, which is mid and could have been safe. There's that flex. The idea, I think, with a Void draft is you want Void to a point where he's just killing 1 to 2 cores. I think I'm not surprised that they picked Void early and then Wraith King got picked because Wraith King's like a semi counter because he has a second
yeah,
life.
yeah.
But Void gets to that point where he just chain stuns him, and he could just ignore him. So I think Wraith King actually just stays as a hero. Um, there's a lot of heroes. I think even like a Sand King, like someone that starts the fight besides the Chrono. Like, actually, a Sand King would have fit. Swap Sand King and Lone Druid and just have a Sand King running around with Blink Veil. This is a different game. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
the idea from what I could
Mm-hmm.
see was they definitely drafted around the chrono. Like if they would land a good chrono
Mm-hmm.
with the ice blast and macropyre and all that, everything's in there is dead.
Yeah.
But they just didn't. Once again, like I don't think they had the team coordination to pull that off. And once again, they were playing pretty sloppy. The Razor was super aggressive, constantly running into situations that were
Mm-hmm.
not favorable to him or his team. You can see he had 16 deaths.
Yeah, that's
They
hard. I
didn't.
think he's put in a bad spot though. Like he shouldn't be dying 16 times as the mid. He shouldn't have more deaths than his two supports. But I think the mid was put in a really bad spot with the void and the lone druid.
Yeah,
But I'm not
obviously,
defending
like
him.
you have a bunch of teams, but still, like he was playing way too aggressive for what he should have been, and factors into the whole entire. They don't have the cohesion as a team quite yet, and Team Retro, even with their stand-ins, were playing in a much more organized fashion and gave them the victory. So that was definitely an interesting match to watch. Um,
I'm just shocked.
I don't,
52 minutes. They're not. They didn't like win late. That's why I'm so confused. Like I feel like the draft of season 26, it should be in the bag at 52. I almost feel like I don't know what happened during the game, but that's what I feel.
yeah,
That's kind of my thing. It's like, how did the game last 52 minutes? I think this game could have lasted like 22 minutes and Team Retro runs them over, is what I'm saying. Like, I think Team
because
Retro can run them over in under 30.
assuming both teams are like equally skilled and equally cohesive, then yes, if it comes down just to the draft, you would be right. But in this instance, season 26 champs were never able to really pull together and make the moves they needed to. Um,
Wow.
moving on.
Yeah, we can move on. Just crazy.
Yeah,
I'm like,
definitely not the way I saw that going. But I mean, once again, you have a team coming out of the blue. Can't
mhm.
really make an accurate prediction. The Dota buffs don't say much.
No.
Uh, Lemon Snow Cones versus Tyrants, 1-1.
I thought Lemon Snow Cones was going to 2 them.
Same. Okay, so definitely something that pops out right off the bat here. Do you see it?
Uh, should I go to game 1 or game 2?
Game one.
Um, there's a support Luna and a core Clockwork. I don't know. I'm looking at this. I'm
The
confused.
mid tide hunter, the mid tide hunter dog.
Mid to dude. Honestly,
So
what the hell? Lemon
the
snow
way
cones
I
win. I'm so fucking
yeah.
confused.
So they had last pick. They saw the Ember pick coming out. They assumed it was going to be an offlane Centaur, safe lane, gyro, mid Ember. And I guess they figured Tidehunter beats Ember in lane. But it seems like they swapped for a gyro mid and Ember went safe. But still, this Ember or this Tidehunter, you gotta love to see it. What a build! Lots of kills.
I like it. It's good. He's gonna get lots of kills. He probably went the plus damage talent, level
Of course, I
25.
mean, yeah, it's the whole entire crit
Yeah,
Tidehunter.
I
And you
don't.
just have to get the 25 first.
I don't mind this. And honestly, I see that Ember went bottom. You could have sent the Tide still bottom with the gyro mid. There's lane swapping's allowed. You can't. You don't have to go with your first choice. I realize
Yep.
not all contender teams and not all even intermediate teams realize that, but you can swap lanes. You don't always have to have the mid player be mid.
Yep.
So, but 17
Um,
5.
yeah. Uh, Game number two, though, went the other way. Tyrants managed to find the game. They looked like they were in control pretty much the whole entire time. So I don't know. I would assume the differences is in drafts without watching the game itself.
It looks to be like a fight. 23 to 24 minutes where they uh, lost really bad. They lost 4 heroes, and Tyrants didn't lose any. And that kind of
Yeah, that's
was
where it started.
kind of the tipping point. Kind of
Chain
curious what
feed.
their draft was going for, because you pick a Magnus support, and then you have a Viper, Ricky, Kunkka. I don't feel like maybe their idea was we're gonna get Ricky to farm faster, but you can't pick a Void, Jug, Troll, Warlord. You can't pick any regular hero with that Magnus, because
Yeah,
I feel like if you're picking Magnus, especially
not
as a
that much
support role,
synergy.
yeah, you need to have someone that's gonna actually use his ability. So I think Lemon Snowcone's kind of outdrafted themselves. Kunkka's never a
Yeah,
bad pick, but yeah, I don't know. This is just weird.
yeah. I mean, both games kind of very one-sided for each team. Moving on, results-oriented thinkers versus Griffin. They haven't played their match yet. Red 5 standing by versus Petting Zoo Rejects. That was an interesting 2-0. Did not expect it. Did not see it going that way. Uh, where are they? Oh, there.
For petting zoo, you didn't. I had both of these teams in my. Wait, did I? Sorry, I need to look at my uh, petting zoo. I actually had Red 5 standing by as an A team and Petting Zoo as a not A team. No, I rushed through these.
Oh yeah.
But
My experience with these teams comes from 2 seasons ago when I was also in Contender.
mhm.
We played both of them. Red 5 was the only team that managed to hand us a full loss, and our subsequent match in the playoffs was probably one of the most intense games or series I've ever played. Whereas Petting Zoo, we played them in the grand finals, but we didn't feel the same kind of threat from Petting Zoo, and these pretty much the same roster as far as I can see for Petting Zoo. What I've noticed here is that Red 5 standing by, they're not playing, they're missing their position one. They're missing the captain, Dr. Geo.
Mm.
And they ended up playing very odd roles, not the usual for them. So I kind of think that the reason they got handled is because of the stand in. They weren't playing at their full strength, in my opinion.
Yeah, that could definitely be a thing. I noticed at 13 minutes and 15 minutes, they had a bunch of people dying between 12 minutes 57 seconds to 16:39, where they just have
Mm-hmm.
heroes dying at different points, like just hovering over 14:51, 15 minutes,
Chain
15:36, and
feeds.
15:54. Yeah, it just seems off, and they're all kind of separate now. A couple would be in a fight, but that just seems they had actually an advantage to like 4K early on with their draft at that time, which is pretty good. And it looks like they just chain fed a little bit more, and petting zoo uh, kind of went. It's pretty interesting. They went with the support invoker as well. We see that pause 4 invoker.
Yeah. It's not to say that I don't think Petting Zoo is a strong team. On the contrary, they placed second place in Contender the last 2 seasons. Pretty consistent,
Hmm.
pretty solid. I just kind of figured Red 5 is a stronger team and they shouldn't be losing 2-0. Um,
Yeah,
Nothing in
DC
particular
game
is
2. Do you see the support Meeple?
that's not a support Meepo build, is it? Shit,
They
dude.
have
He
him
bought
as
most of the
support.
wards. I know he's their support player, but he bought a lot of words and still managed to find the gold for. Wow. Okay.
I'm not
What's
surprised. What else are you going to build as a Meepo? You want stats? Maybe you get a sheepstick.
but
Um,
why?
I think that's really. I think that's hilarious. They picked a 10 too. They went 7-10
First phase
Meepo.
Meepo. So they just kind of like gamble and kind of. It must have just been purely like a draft play, bait out a whole bunch of Meepo counters and then not play anything
Gyro,
there.
Underlord, Kunkka. Oh, those are kind of Meepo counters.
That's just when your brain is too big.
But I'm just trying to look at their Slaughter seems actually pretty good against their team. I think Slaughter, Monkey King, you have that matchup against Underlord, 17-18, you kind of see there. It it doesn't look too bad actually. You know what? The Meepo support, and I'm looking at their draft, and hero to hero, their draft isn't actually that bad. I think Meepo support compared to their supports, their support duo is weaker, but core to core, I think they win every core matchup.
Just big draft bait. All right. Well, noted. Watch out for petting zoos. Support Meepo.
Yeah, that's coming.
Yeah, it's definitely some like a kind of like a pet peeve of mine when people just try too hard to counter other people in the draft.
Do you think a core plays Meepo?
What do you mean?
Do you think
As in,
for that team? Do you think they have a core that actually plays
as if
Meepo?
like, were they gonna flex it to a core position?
Well, maybe they didn't think it was just going to be a support. If it's a really good Meepo game, maybe they have a core that plays it, or maybe their support plays a good enough Meepo that
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
swap
I mean,
roles. Is what I'm
uh,
saying. Is that a flex?
it would make sense if it was, but I mean, there's no indication. Well, there's probably not any indication that the support plays Meepo often either. Never mind. Wrong. It's his second most played hero.
Well, you know what? Hey, if they're winning a game and you're not doing research,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, wow.
if you're at the I go off of pub profiles when I would draft. I see
Hmm.
what people play. And people that don't check them and just see what they play as a team, you're missing out. Pub profiles are the shit. That's why you see all the pros disable them.
100%. Yeah. Up next,
Is this your series?
my
Sophisticated
series.
puddles versus missing Skywalker hands.
The game is still a work in progress.
So, what was
Suffering
your
from massive
team
indecisive.
before?
I bet I bought Artifact for the Dota Plus.
Wait, you were iBad 2.0?
Yeah, and 1.0.
Oh, oh wait, let me just your sophisticated puddles. Okay, I see some new team names, and the spreadsheet doesn't update, so I'm extremely confused.
Okay, so yeah, Sophisticated Puddles is my team. I bet 2.0 initially, and there was to be determined. It was Brico's team, I think. They decided on the bad idea as a team name. Or
Yeah,
no, wait, uh, is that Brico's team?
his was edgy blanks.
No, Edgy Blanks was. We went over them already. They were extra. No, fuck, I'm on the wrong schedule. Team Retro. Team Retro was Edgy Blanks. Edgy Blanks was the name that Seth gave them because they didn't have one.
Wait, Team Retro was
Yep. Edgy Blanks became Team Retro. TBD and
well, no, no, no. Team Retro is not edgy blanks.
who was Edgy Blanks?
That was Brecco's team. I don't know who Team Retro.
Brecco's team was registered as TBD.
And then they went to Edgy Blanks.
No. Edgy Blanks was a name that Seth gave a team because they were in the scheduler as an actual blank name. You can literally dig up the Discord message.
Yeah, you maybe have to. The bad idea is Brecco's team. Then what were
Like I
they
said,
named before? Because I thought at
TBD.
TBD and Edgy Blanks was the same team. So I
No.
put
The only
TBD
reason
Edgy Blanks
don't
as. So I didn't even know. Well,
um yeah, I think that's the only team names that changed.
apparently I don't even have the Red Team Retro in my.
Yeah, because they registered even after season 26 champs registered. They were very late registered.
Hmm,
This is this happened after we made all our week 1 content.
right. No worries. No worries. Edgy Blanks was labeled as. I made TBD and Edgy Blanks the same team, but I thought they were both not A, so we're good in my tiers, you know.
um, right. This series between my team and Missing Skywalker Hands. Um, definitely a little bit of hubris here as well, though not on the same scale as Mango's team. Game 1, they took us to an hour and 10 minutes. They had a stand-in. It's a shame that Mango's not here because he's the one that casted this and could come with a lot more insight into this from the third person perspective at the very least. Story of game 1 was basically we just got manhandled by this Guardian 3 stand-in they had who played an X. And I remember looking at his lane maybe like 3-5 minutes into the game, and I saw that he was getting just handled by my guys. And in addition to that, he was going Tranquil Boots build, which to me, as an axe spammer, just signals that this guy is playing a very antiquated style of axe. But once the good dude got his blink dagger, he just started freaking manhandling us. Um, game became really hard.
Oh. Guardian 3
These guys,
Stand X.
yeah.
Didn't I have this team near the? Yeah, they were a not A, so that means really bad.
The Dota buffs aren't really promising in terms of a competitive team, but
Yeah, who
they
knows?
definitely were playing really cohesively. Much more cohesive than my team was. My team still had a couple of things to iron out because it's also quite a few guys who are new to competitive or just amateur Dota in general.
Hmm.
Um,
Dude, what the hell's going on? Missing 24-minute radiance? What? That's 5-6 minutes slow. What are you guys doing over here?
they were not good laners. You can see Dota Buff has them listed as losing pretty much every single lane.
Yeah, lost. Well, this is game two
Um,
that they won.
game 2 was actually much better for us than game 1, believe it or not.
Hmm.
We I didn't ban out their their axe and their witch doctor were problems, but they played them both games. I didn't ban out the axe because I kind of wanted to play axe. I wanted to show this guy how it was done, but they just went and first picked them anyways.
Yeah,
And we had a couple of good, like we had Shadow Demons, pretty solid axe counter. We were equipped for it, but we just did a massive fucking throw. You can see on the chart at the end where we chain fed. We did the most rookie of mistakes where you kind of just you're waiting for your cores to respawn and you kind of end up feeding more kills to the point where they just go straight ancient. Um,
you know that's. I think I actually like their draft. It's tough to say. Your draft's pretty good. You have like the ranged working around the chrono and stuff.
we definitely had them out drafted and we were playing much better. than they were, but it came down to this one series at the one fight at the very end that we played in the worst possible fashion. And props to missing Skywalker hands, but they were able to capitalize it, and they knew that they could finish the game right there and then,
Yeah,
and they did.
yeah. I something I noticed is this isn't is Luna support back?
Okay,
Because
so
another Luna support game.
I'm pretty sure Luna. There's 3 instances of Luna Pause 4 this week.
Yeah, it seems like quite a few.
These guys, the other team that played it, and then
Yeah,
also in gonna see Extra Lives game 2 versus Silver Breakfast Pandas also played it, and I
yeah.
think it's won in all 3 instances.
I noticed he played a couple Luna support games too. So this is an out of the ordinary for him. 7-10-29, 6-21, 18. You know,
It's
not he played a game in Battle Cup yesterday 4-10-7 and they lost that. But it looks like this guy actually plays Luna support. And you know, I guess the talents for the beams aren't
it, it's
bad.
very viable. I've heard a lot of talk about this. It's definitely a legitimate thing. Playing Luna support as well as just playing Luna core and going the magic build. It's
Yeah.
the whole entire the talents that enable the magic build that enable the support playstyle in her.
400 cast range is really good, you know, for a support. Like
Yeah,
incredible stun, a 6-7 second cooldown. Then you got
a
negative
lot
four
of
second nuisance
damage,
beam.
good TP cancel.
Yeah, I guess if you use Luna support, you have to have a really hard 5. So if the Faceless God Witch Doctor is playing extremely hard 5, I think it's okay.
Not to mention, actually, Witch Doctor and Luna are a really nasty combo. They can do so much in terms of damage just by themselves. Um, but yeah, I mean, like there was a little like time ago where people were contemplating support Luna just based on the merits of her the change to her aura, where it increases your primary stat
Hmm.
instead of just giving you an amount of damage, which made her really popular in like push lineups as a support. But now I think it's a different phase. There, it's more centered around her magic burst that she can put out and how little items she needs to make it work.
Hmm.
But yeah, definitely an interesting kind of meta kind of forming here with lots of Witch Doctor, lots of Luna, lots of X showing up.
I don't think I like I don't think support Luna's bad. I just noticed that quite a few teams are picking it.
Yeah.
Just something I kind of
You have
noticed.
a bit of an issue here. Next up is Misty Mountains versus Bad Idea.
Only one game is on the
The
ticket
second
out
game
of
was,
two.
yeah, somebody didn't take it the second game. It's listed as 2-0 on the website. So
Yeah.
sub 30-minute game. Pretty quick.
Now I don't know if you watched my video, my rant, but I said that this current team, the bad idea, was lacking one more player. Yeah, I think if you want a team that's going to be at the top, you need 3 players on the team that are going to carry you there, kicking and screaming. That way, if you have one guy have a bad night, you still have 2 guys. If 2 guys have a bad night, maybe you have that one guy have a really good night. He carries the team. You need 3 people. And currently, the bad idea, I looked at their team. I think they only have 2 guys that are going to bring them if two.
It's a, it's an interesting theory, but I'm gonna kind of disagree with it. I mean,
Well, you need a team, but I think you need
key,
difference makers.
key point I think is right here in front of us. Misty Mountains. They're a very very experienced squad. They've been together for a long time, and I don't think they have 3-star players. Instead, they have a really they play really well around Radek.
Different.
They're as a matter of fact, the kind of whole entire play style revolves around just really strong team fights and kind of keeping that one key player alive. I remember like this is true for the 2 seasons that I've been playing amateur league. This is true. Even I ran into these guys in a pub, 5 stack versus 5 stack, and I was just wowed by their play style. And they actually kind of what got me into amateur league.
Diff-
And AD2L in the first place actually was these guys.
Difference makers aren't star players. I'm not saying star players. Players that when you put in the game, they're the ones, and it can vary. You can have a support that's playmaking for the team. You can have a mid that's running around. 3 guys that just know what they're really doing, and they're a cohesive unit, and they're going to bring the team to a W if the other players aren't playing well. Now that might say, like, I'm not taking away, like, you need a team, you need
Very
5 people,
generalistic.
and you need 5 people, but I think you need like 3 guys that are gonna be the core of the team and say okay, and they're gonna do their role, and they're going to enable their teammates, including the other 2 guys, to do stuff. You need 3 people putting out every game, or you hope those 3 are putting out. And I think, what I've noticed is watching amateur games and then even pro games, you have those couple players every game, and they're not star players always, coming out, and they're just doing what they're supposed to do. And I know that sounds really generic, because it is, but it makes sense to me. Maybe not to the viewers. They'll be like, "What the hell is he talking about?" If
And
I
it,
get Blink as Earthshaker, I'm doing my job. Yes, you are, but there's more to your job than just getting that Blink dagger. Are you that? Are you that pause 4 playmaking? Are you that pause 3 playmaking? Are you that guy that your only job is to right click creeps in the jungle, and if your team loses every lane, can you put them on your back, and now that 1% chance to win? Are you that player? And that's not a star player. Are you doing your
it's
job?
okay. I see what you're saying, but it's kind of a little vague and just I
Well,
don't know.
I don't want to get into specifics, because that might,
I just think
people
as
might
long as the
steal my
team has
thing.
a plan and all 5 people on or the majority of your team is ready to follow that plan, no matter what that plan is, like anything can work in Dota, just as long as everyone's together as a unit. That's my theory, very least.
I definitely think the team has to be a cohesive unit. I just think you need that difference maker. That's going to win you the game. And I think when you have 3, you have a top team. Top team.
Hmm.
You know, intermediate championship winner from last season. And I can tell you that's how I felt we had the difference makers on that team.
All right. Not much to go on in Misty Mountains versus Bad Idea with only 1 game and it being 30 minutes at that.
Yeah, 2-0.
So let's
And
move on to Semi Dream Team versus Full Stalker.
I noticed
Pretty
Rhino
freaking
joined the chat.
Yeah,
yeah.
I just
Second wave.
Mad Max told me to join to give insight, but I'll give it after you guys go through everyone.
Yeah,
Okay.
we went over your game. The game was second in the list, and we're now wrapping things up here at the end.
Well, we can
Anyways,
finish after these games. We can go back, if
yeah.
that's, yeah. Semi Dream
Semi
Team.
Dream Team versus Full Stalker 2-0. Semi Dream Team. Semi Dream Team was. Seems like all the petting zoo players that I saw and still are currently on the main petting zoo roster decided they actually wanted to play some games, so they made their own separate team.
Yeah, so and when I saw this, I kind of smiled because they had such a large roster. They've been playing how many seasons, and obviously some of their players wanted to get together and make a team. That completely made sense to me. I didn't know how it'd work. You have like an A and B team, but they 2-0'd, and I'm not surprised. Nothing against full Sturka. I I kind of have them near the bottom right now.
Game one looked like it was kind of a stomp. Under
Yeah,
30 minutes, a lot of kills. Wind Ranger popped off in mid. 12-0.
I'm just trying to get their
Oh
draft
dear
together.
lord! Tranquil boots on Viper.
26 minutes, yeah.
Must have been a real rough game.
And he went Wraith Bands. You know, remove Wraith Bands, go Arcane Boots, pick up a headdress, you know, get your mechanism. What, you know, I'm not a big fan of Volsterker's draft game one, though.
Yeah, offlane Ursa, like I'm a big proponent of offlane Ursa. As a matter of fact, I used to spam him a ton, the gold tier. And it's just it takes a lot of finesse to pull off, and I don't think he's as strong now as he is. Especially when you have stuff like a position 5 silencer, you know, you need a lot of lockdown.
Well, my question is, what are you supposed to do with an Ursa, Wraith King, Viper as your 3 cores? Like, who's doing something on your team?
I guess that lineup literally tells me that they were expecting to be playing from ahead, and they wanted to be a momentum-based team where they just kept getting teams and kept popping off and carry that momentum through. But it just got shut down so early. As a matter of fact, they never had a lead.
Well, I
It
know
was
it's
entirely in some Dream Teams
maybe the
lineup.
Ursa and Underlord matchup, but if I'm Underlord, I'm going to try and avoid that and go against Wraith King, which is an advantage.
Exactly.
Like, I know you're an offlaner, but would you swap,
Well,
or would you keep? Would you just say fuck it? I'm with against Ursa,
here's
or
the
would
thing: if
you
they let
try
you
to?
swap, if they let you swap, you swap. But if
You
the
walk across the map. Like, you walk.
yeah,
Like, you take your 40 seconds and you walk to the top of the lane. Like, you're bottom, you walk top to avoid the bad matchup. Does that not hurt Ursa if he now is not in his favored matchup and he actually decides to follow you? Like, what's worse? Like, if Ursa's like level 4 and you're level 4 at like 12 minutes, who's going to be more useful? Is what I'm saying. Is like, if that's the only reason why they picked Ursa and then they picked Wraith King, who's like, oh, it's just weird. Just kind of weird that game 1 draft to me, what they did.
it could have potentially worked. I think if they're more skilled, it's a lineup that definitely needs to be played from the lead. And personally, I'm not a fan of lineups that only work when they're ahead, because once you're behind, you're out of options, kind of.
And see, that's where sometimes you get bit in the ass because then you're playing, like, both sides are playing kind of later game drafts, and then you have
Yep.
one team undercut them, and then they raffle stomp them. I love those games. I imagine your whoever's on your team drafts. Once in a blue moon that happens, and you're like, got them, and you just run them over in 20 minutes because
Yeah.
it's that kind of creep. You see that
Well,
sometimes in Pro Dota.
you want a blend. You want like something that's strong in the lanes, but can play from behind and hold high ground. You don't want to go full late game, because then you're giving up the lanes.
I'm not saying
But,
pick 5 carries. Or I'm not saying you pick bad laners. I'm just saying there's a tipping point where you go so far that a team undercuts you and finishes you off.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, I guess.
I'm not shocked by Semi Dream Team 2-0 in them. I had them pretty high up on my feel good list. I noticed this is yours, I believe.
Which one?
The power rankings one. Did you
Mhm.
do? Was that you with the green and red?
I didn't do any green or red.
Oh well, what the hell? I clicked content channel and I swear,
That was mangoes.
well, Mangoes is wrong. Then you posted, hell yeah, bud, you posted his.
Yeah, I posted both mine and his. His is the link at the very top. Mine's the second link.
Oh, and yours is just talking about him.
No, mine's everything. I've got predictions. I got power rankings. I got
Oh, you're
person AQ.
A, B. Okay. Well, I just wanted to touch base quickly on Mangoes. He brought Semi Dream Team up 11 points from this match. I'm not saying, listen, I had him up. First off, I had him near, I felt like it close to A team on mine, not A. But 11 points, how? I don't think this defines them. I think this was easy
Well,
2-0 for
I
me to
I think
choose.
partially it was just him realizing his mistake week one that he put him too low. So not only is he's not just going off 2-0, but he's also kind of correcting the week one. I don't know if that makes any sense.
He thinks they're, all I see is he thinks they're a number 6 team right now. And I don't know if this game warrants a team.
Yeah, maybe it's a little too high.
No, I'm not saying they're not. They could be an A tier team, but I don't think beating. I think next week is kind of the decision.
Yeah, I mean, it's still like don't expect the predictions to be accurate. But yeah, both games handedly controlled by 17 team. Moving on.
Silver Breakfast Pandas, is that the next team?
Yep, versus
Next
Extra
team
Lives.
is.
Now, this is something that I imagined would also go 2-0 in the favor of Silver Breakfast. I know both of these teams. Matter of fact, Extra Lives is they're some guys that I convinced to play AD2L. And Dell's obviously was kind of my co-captain for iBad. Game one was pretty solidly in Dill's favor.
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm kind of looking at it. Monkey King. Oh, the OD pick, I really like it. I think OD's like really good right now, and especially against what heroes they had, I think OD works
Especially
really
against
well.
Axe, yeah. I really dislike playing Axe against OD.
And Night Stalker, I think, is a pretty good picture. I mean, Pyro as well. I actually like their draft. The only one I don't, and I'm fine with it, like, I'm not, is the Monkey King. I'm iffy on it. Like, I realize, like, in lane, but in game, it can be at times hard to be a Monkey King against Axe. Now, I realize maybe he got some coaching from the Monkey King player, Drodes, Kappa.
Not particularly. Dill's definitely knows his Monkey King well enough to doesn't really
No, that's
need any
all I
coaching on it.
notice. Is
Um,
that's the only thing I notice is if I think you have to play Monkey King a slightly different way when you play. Well, you could say that for a lot of heroes when you play Axe. I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't know if I actually picked Monkey King this game. But obviously, I have a different hero pool than Dill, and what heroes I'm more comfortable to play against with
yeah,
different
Monkey King is
matchups.
kind of one of his staples, and I mean, I've got a lot of experience playing Axe against Monkey Kings. It's a hard matchup. It's not to say that Axe can't do well against the Monkey King, but the Monkey King can't really lose against an Axe.
Well, no,
It's so difficult.
MK wins lane. I'm saying like in the
But
game though. In the
even
game,
throughout like the rest of the game, like it's really hard to. You're not nearly as effective as an Axe when you're trying to kill the Monkey King because you really have to play it almost like pixel perfect. Otherwise, the dude just Monkey King gets all his health back with his Jenga stacks.
well, we could say
It's
that about any
unavoidable.
melee
You
hero.
literally, well, yeah, except Axe, much like LC, is a hero that relies on getting hit, and there's no way to avoid the Monkey King getting his stacks off other than not letting him hit you 4 times, which it's kind of the whole entire point of the hero. Anyways.
I'm not saying MK doesn't get stacks or anything from him. I'm just saying that matchup isn't as clear cut. Like in lane, yes, but in game, I think it's different. That's my preference. I don't.
I win a lot of games against Monkey King with axe to the point where I kind of laugh at it being a counter. But it doesn't. It's still, even when you win it, it's a very difficult win.
As a safe laner, I'm just saying there might be a few heroes I would have picked besides MK. But like I said, we have different hero pools, and if that's the hero he wants to play, that's fine. OD had a really huge game, 22-1, and I'm not surprised by that. I think this game's like OD's gonna do some work.
Yeah, game ones, there's not much to see. The real interesting stuff is game two.
Why? Because they
Right.
lose against extra lives, or what?
Yeah, because they lost. Because once again, it was a massive, it was a big throw, just like
Mhm.
like in my series. They
Huge, well, not huge, 8K advantage to 35, like at 28 to 35. What is going on here? What's going on? Dill only died once.
mm-hmm.
Mm,
The kill, only 3 deaths on the mid laner, 10 and 3, only 1 death on the safe laner, and yet they still, just at the very end, poof, they died off of 2 team fights. It seems they lost the game, and this is where you see the position for Luna again.
yes, you'd almost have to see. I'd almost have to see how they lost that last fight.
Yeah,
You know,
this is definitely like a game I wanted to watch and possibly figure out what was going on. Just never got around to it.
just the last 2 fights. I'd be curious how they lost. If someone got caught out, let's say the sniper got caught out at the end, or something on one of those fights, or if they chain fed, or well, I just curious. I'd love to see what screwed them up at the very end. You know, grats on extra lives capitalizing on it. This kind of shows, you know, even teams that we thought are really good, you know, can lose to teams we didn't, because anything can happen.
Indeed. I'm gonna see if I can actually download that replay real quick. Looking for the pine trees.
Digital Habitat and the maintenance are happening this
Yet to
week. They
play.
haven't happened.
Tuesday, yeah.
I'm pretty sure 2-0 Digital Habitat. I'm confident in them winning. I don't know if they're a rank 2 team. I definitely think they're near the top. But I think that's a 2-0. I think it's a pretty basic series of, you know, you have the
Digital
Giant and
Habitat.
yeah.
You think they're tier 2 or second, right?
I think.
You don't think they're. Who do you think is the best team then?
Who do I think is the best?
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't have best. I had like A, not A, and not A. So I had 3 tiers. Not A is
Well, if you're saying that you don't think they're the best, then surely that means you think there's somebody who's better.
yes. I'm not sharing my best team with you. I haven't fully decided. I just don't think they are the best team. I think they're on the low end of A.
All right, I'm gonna watch the end of this game here. It starts at 36 minutes, rough 35. I'll go at 34.
Do you want to post me the match ID? Or I guess I could go on your stream.
Yeah.
You know. What's your Twitch? Mad Max?
No, I posted it in the content.
Mazer246. Does that have some meaning to you?
This is my name a long time ago. Yeah, I should have been paying attention to my chat. Oops. Rookie mistakes. Anyways.
Jodes commented, so did Thug Potato, you know. But screw looking at chat. Are you showing the game on your stream?
Yeah.
No, but sorry, I meant I thought you were watching the game.
Watching it now.
We're getting the full Content tier,
they-
boys.
They did a. It looks like it was Dill's team, the Breakfast Pandas, that initiated the fight.
Are you on delay?
I don't think so. Actually, maybe I am.
You just got to
crap.
Dota watching.
You know, I probably forgot to turn the delay off. Yeah, you're right. 3-minute delay. Big
Three.
yikes.
3-minute delay. People that come here, they get 3 minutes. They can be in the future. Man,
Yeah, that's my bad.
that's okay. It happens. At least people know you have delay. Was that because you were casting? Or
Yeah, I was
playing?
casting last night. So okay, from what I see, they the Breakfast Pandas smoked up, started a fight, got 3 kills. Looking very strong. It's 35 minutes. Kills should be happening now. And a whole bunch of BKBs were popped. Radiant charge out of their high ground. And they just get a ton of kills. I don't know. They're down like 8K net worth. And Radiant just charged down out of their high ground and take a fight that they shouldn't really have won, I don't think. I mean, suppose Dire didn't have a couple of their ultis. Radiant used everything they had, and Dire wasn't at full strength.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So that's just one fight. It's not the end of the game.
Dire's top tower is under Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A dominating performance.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
From rock.
I wonder what the next fight happens around.
Dire
They won
are
that one
scanning.
fight, but
I feel like what's the
Haste.
huh? 39 minutes apparently when the next fight's supposed to happen.
huh?
Target practice paying off. May the
Both teams are kind of playing around the Roche, but looks like they're trying to wait for the next Roche, and then the fight ends up happening.
Smoking in eggs at 40 minutes.
precious bounty.
Oh,
The Luna ulti
Positioning.
just did a ton of damage.
Stop shaking.
Hello,
Yeah,
this
I
is
don't-
Gabe Newell. Thanks for playing Dota 2.
Very interesting.
Double kill, killing spree.
I wouldn't
More
even
than
say
2
it was
kills,
just
but
Luna
less
eggs.
than
I
4
think
kills.
them being able to get that smoke wrapping around, like it seemed like they were in way better positioning, in better position for that fight at 40.
Yeah. And then off of that, with quite a few of their
Dire's
heroes
middle
being down
tower
for 40
is under
minutes,
attack.
especially when you have a
Structures
Luna,
are fortified.
she just lets you finish the game so quickly,
Dire's
punish
middle
these like
tower
small
has fallen.
mistakes.
Yeah, it doesn't even
Dire's
matter that
middle
this is a
tower
Luna
is under
support.
attack.
Resolve.
She still does
Glaives.
just shreds the buildings. Yeah.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And like,
Lifestealer does a good job as well. He went
Dire's
Deso,
middle tower
so-
has fallen. Dire
Wow.
Ancient is under
yeah,
attack.
just like it catches the other team off guard. They don't think they can lose the game there, so they play a little riskier.
They-
Don't quite like settle into that late game mentality where they start playing really safe and ensuring they have buybacks and whatnot. They just lose the game.
Yeah, Sniper didn't have buyback.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower
Yeah,
has fallen.
amazing. That's
Wow, just 2 fights. Like,
happens when you have. That's what happens when you have a position for Luna.
keep buybacks. Keep buybacks, man. Shaman. Their team, actually, you look at their team straight up, they're going to be building takers. Silver Breakfast Panda had theirs and Sniper, and one got two bad fights and you lose a game. That's what happens.
Big turnaround actually on Carlos as well. First game he went really 0-10 with his. Carlos likes to try and make his position one Slardar thing.
Oh.
But I think this team put their foot down, said no more.
Hmm.
Give him a much more traditional life stealer. 6-1. So even though they're down by 8k net worth in that mid game, life stealer did his job as a carry. Farmed, didn't die.
And he doesn't even have the most last hits. You look at that 320, 305, 251. He went for a more, because he has a Bloodseeker off lane. Actually, Lifestealer looks to be more of the pause 3 if you look at it. Like Bloodseeker went Radiance.
That might be that might be the secret for this game or this team, at the very least.
I don't like it. I think that they
Because-
won, but that's greedy, man. Greedy. But they won. So what do I?
Carlos is definitely not the strongest of position ones in the league right now, so this team is definitely gonna have to try and do definitely have to try and do things to overcome that disadvantage. Position 4 Luna is a really good start.
Yeah. It's not bad. He only died once, so that's really good for him.
Yeah.
You know, when you die only once as a carry, life's good. It's better when you die 0 times, but I'll take 1 death. I'll take 1 death a game. It's
Yeah,
that.
sometimes I just tell my team, your sole job is to farm and not die. If you die, it's over.
Yeah, well, every time you die, right? You're not farming gold. So how much gold does the enemy carry get when you're dead? And then how much gold did they get when they killed you? Like, oh, it's so bad.
It's a different mentality. Like sometimes you just have to start thinking about can I die here or can I not, and then make a decision based off of that.
And then you have to be
It's not saying
arteezy.
very much at all.
You have to be arteezy, and you have to farm in dangerous spots, and hope you get away with it, while your other 2 cores are farming, which is
All
also
right, well,
fine.
just-
That's what you do with 3 greedy cores, right? You just have 2 farm safe, and you have 1 take that risk farming risky areas, and you hope he doesn't die.
Yep.
And for what I see is you should have like kind of 1 core. It's hard to be in all 3 lanes. Being in all 3 lanes is hard.
Yeah.
And Dota.
Yeah, well, there's only one game left on the list, and that's National Bandwagons Association versus the Instigators. It's a weird team, National Bandwagon Association. They changed their name around a lot. I feel like they had a much better team name last season. But Band of Omniscient Bros.
I'm not surprised by the result of 1-1. I thought both teams were kind of on the lower end. It was my
Yeah,
first
but
take.
I remember going through the Instigators and just like they had 2 Guardians, 1 Crusader, and 2 Archons. Just those ranks are not they don't seem competitive at all.
Well, the
Then on the other hand, the National Bandwagon Association, they have a guy with literally 8 matches on record.
well, that's what I'm saying is that, you know, and I realize teams were made to some teams were made to be competitive, but when they changed the medals, we didn't change how the leagues should be, and now we have a
Mhm.
huge balance issue. And you know, I'm not playing. I'm not playing the season, so I have no bias. I'll just say what I think. You know, I have no issues, but it should have been either lower cap for Well, I had either novice league or lower cap for contender because there's a lot of have not teams and contender that just aren't going to have a shot at all really winning like both these teams. I don't expect either team to be a top 4 team in the league.
Yeah.
Even at the end of the season, like you can be better. Like I had a guy that was Archon 4 or 5 starting with me, and you know what, he had a lot of skill and he became legend 5. Actually he hit Ancient 1 during playoffs, and then we got kicked out because he had Ancient 1, but he climbed that much. And he was playing rank constantly, and I showed him a couple concepts. I just don't see either of these teams having a player that, like, as a team, do that where they all just magically all get better and are competitive. No, not to
Yeah.
say these games.
I mean,
Instigators
you
winning
don't-
game 1.
I'll give it a couple of weeks before I really say anything conclusive. But yeah, don't have much hope for. I don't expect these guys to do well. Techies and National Bandwagon. I don't know. What do you see in this series?
I see National Bandwagoners Association having like a bad Techies, Night Stalker, Axe, and then you have Venge Lion. Like, you're on such a poor timer. Like, if you don't win this game early, I don't see how you win. And like
Wait,
Techies as a
hold
core
on.
too.
Who's their position? Who's their position 1 then?
Techies.
Tech.
See, maybe if you have Venge as your pos 1, swap Techies with another support and put Venge as your pos 1. Like, maybe
Venge actually got the jungle designation.
Dire Jungle Lost. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what these guys are doing this game. But this game somehow lasted to 42 minutes. Like, Instigators, you win purely by...
That's
I don't
probably
know.
the techies drawing it out.
And he's a core, so he's not even a support where he doesn't get stuff. He went Hannah Midas. He was actually going right click. He was going right click techies.
Yeah, that's freaking weird. I don't know.
The-
No mana regen apart from like Orchid maybe.
No, I think National Bandwagoners Association was a slightly better team, like probably 70-30.
They just
But this
memed it in their
draft,
first game.
you
All right, well let's look at game 2 then. They took it a lot more seriously, much more traditional draft. Instigators went for the Morphling Shaker kind of combo, but I don't think they didn't look like they're able to make it work at all. 0 kills on Morphling, 1 kill on Shaker. Yeah, they kind of just got slaughtered.
is the game I wanted to actually quickly chat about. This is the only game where Earthshaker, there was 3 Morphling games, and this was the only Earthshaker Morphling game. And Earthshaker Morphling is terrorizing pro
It's terrorizing
games.
the pro scene, I know, but I don't think that it's people in Contender I really have the skill to pull it off. I actually haven't even seen it that often in pubs. Maybe once. I've ran it only once.
I don't like their overall draft, the Instigators, but I like the Morph Shaker. I wish it was, and I think some Contender teams do have the skill to pull this off, but you have to practice at it. But the only Morph Shaker game, I'm shocked that there wasn't intermediate game of Morph Shaker or some other series. Like, we have more than just Contender, and I know we're just looking at Contender, but this was the only
Fair enough.
Morph Shaker game of all the leagues, and I'm kind of surprised because Morph seems to be a hero. I'll just say a person's name, Mushi Mushi, likes playing Morph a lot. He's a Contender League player. I don't think this season, but was.
Yeah, there's just a couple. I know of at least 2 players in
Mhm.
Contender that can play or like playing Morph a lot. They just haven't been doing that so much.
Yeah, just something, it's like, just something to point out that, it's getting nerfed right away. So I thought we would have saw some teams practicing
And
it.
okay, so like I know Dill plays more a Morph. As a matter of fact, the entirety of when he was on iBed, I kind of had to deal with. I didn't like picking Morph back then. I still don't really, and he'd always be asking for Morph. Kind of, it was kind of his thing. So now that he's his own captain and he's drafting for himself,
I
it's
have
interesting that he still hasn't gone for the Morph.
I have a feeling Morph is going to get a little hurt. He's going to get kind of the gyro Wisp treatment a bit, where you nerf a hero a lot because of a combo with another hero.
Yeah,
I don't know how much, and maybe Ice Frog has a really good plan. Obviously, he's watching these games, but just something in Dota right now. I don't. I'm not a big fan of like Morph Sniper. I feel like their team was lacking a little more meat to their potatoes. Is what I'll say. Is I think like you can take Morph
yeah.
or Snipe. I don't think you take those two heroes together unless
Mhm.
there's obviously a situation where they're together. I just kind of
You need
I
a beefcake.
and the I'll call them NBA National Bandwaggers Association. I look at their draft and I just think, man, they're as soon as they get on top of one of them, they're dead. And like if you have both heroes that are kind of
Yeah.
like that, it makes the game hard. Especially with your sniper, you went BKB, um, Dragonlance, Maelstrom, BKB. That's not a fun game, but also Morph. It looks like he lost mid pretty hard, and he didn't. He only had one item,
The eggs.
so
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
less net worth than his support Marana. Is there a little MMR discrepancy there? Archon 3 and Guardian 5, yeah. Guardian
Not to mention going up
5.
against the odd account. But yeah.
Yeah, so looking at this account, I saw this opinions. This guy doesn't have a rank. Only 8 games played ever. And these were 8 months
It
ago.
could be an instance of the whatchamacallit. The disabled Dota buff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not very
Well, he doesn't have a rank up there either. That's kind of a big little concern.
disabled Dota buff, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
does that for you. I mean, my only hope is that these teams bring this up so that Smurfcore can start dealing with these issues. Because 2 seasons ago, the grand finals got delayed in Contender for several weeks because it was my team versus, I already forget their names, Mission Critical, I think.
Hmm.
Maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember. They had just a blatant Smurf on their team. This guy sandbag. Well, granted, he did sandbag the playoffs, and then started kind of carrying them through sandbag the group stages, and then started carrying them in the playoffs. And nobody brought it up, so they made it all the way to the grand finals. We brought it up. They figured it was a Smurf. They got banned, and then the whole entire investigation took like a couple of weeks, and then on top of that, they decided to replay that whole entire side of the bracket. So it just took forever for us to finally play the grand finals out.
Well, I will say this mid Ember went Battle Fury to 24 minutes, and either he's really, he's hiding the fact he's a Like, I just don't think he's a Smurf. Really, I don't think. Who goes Battle Fury after Phase?
I mean, hey, if you're smurfing, sometimes you want to switch. You have room to play with weird
Mhm.
builds.
Yeah, I hope hopefully we get to see his rank. There's a guy Ancient 1-2 in the league currently. He's on a team. He
Yeah,
was Ancient 1.
JML from Missing Scavenger Hands. He's an improved player. He got approved.
Yeah, I know he's approved. I'm just saying he's Ancient 1. And it's Legend 4. And Legend 4 is higher cap than last season because we don't have Legend 1 to 7. And he's Ancient 1.
He's still keeping the MMR cap pretty much the same. That's kind of the badges are just kind of a rough indicator, but he's still when he has to make decisions, he still goes on MMR averages.
Well, I
And
know
that
he
hasn't
does. He
changed.
looks at their team. It's just that Ancient 1. Starting the league and you're Ancient 1, you know, that's all. That's all I got. Just pointing that out
Yeah,
there.
rates be seen because they didn't have the ancient playing this week. They subbed the Guardian 5-axe and still managed to do somewhat decently.
Yeah, Deck Garden
Um,
5-axe. What can you say? That's all I'm saying is, Ancient 1 in the league, and I'm saying it's kind of fine if your team is kind of like if your team doesn't hope to win, but if the Ancient One's carrying them to every game, it's kind of questionable. Obviously, he's not going to be that much better than Legend 4, but Legend 4 is supposed to kind of be the max, right? No, not many teams. Like some teams have Legend 4s, but you don't have 5 Legend 4s on the team. You have like a Archon. Like my intermediate team, we had our pause 5 support was sometimes under 2K and
right.
intermediate, but that was a different intermediate league. That was something else. Yeah.
I should did. I'm just finally realizing that my stream is so yellowed.
Do you have enough bitrate? I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it's a weird freaking like interaction with Flux where like on my screen it doesn't look nearly as yellow, but the screenshots end up being super yellowed
Oh,
to like the point where like if I just take the screenshot and look at it, it's much darker shade. Anyways, so that's the end of the recap. We went through all the teams. What should we do next? We want to do the
is Rado
week 2
here?
predictions.
Yeah.
If Rado's
Do
here,
we want to go back
he wants to.
to
Yeah, if he wants to say his little piece about his week 1, his game
explain?
series. Yeah, if he wants to talk about
Explain.
it, I don't see anything wrong with it. Season 26 chance versus retro. Let's go.
All right, so we win in this match. We didn't have a hard carry till the day before the match. Like Mango was supposed to be mid. I decided not to play hard carry because I didn't want to learn a new position. Even though, like as stated, I'm probably one of the greediest offlaners, like to play the role. But like, we didn't have a hard carry, so Mango decided to play hard carry, and we picked up a mid player. That's MC7. And MC7 is, as you see, like he had 17 deaths on his razor. Like he's not like I don't think he'll be playing for the team too long. Like let's just say that. Like this roster is gonna switch very quickly. Like from week 1 to week like 3, there'll be a lot of roster swapping. Mango me staying, or we may be adding a new 4, and a new carry. Who knows? But Tim will probably stay on the team. So we went in this with a pretty big head. We wanted to pull a draw out, get an easy dub. Well, that's what we thought. And then I think they like first 2 techies and some other hero. Like techie, the main heroes that
techies.
yeah, techies, and then they had Tinker and then Naga, and their techies was a level 25. Their Naga was level
Did you
25.
guys like not see this in the scouting? Did you not do any scouting?
They had no members on their roster. That's what we reported to Seth.
I feel if you're playing against a team and they're using players, you're entitled to know their Dota buffs.
Well, yeah, 2. Well, okay, so 2 of their accounts were private. One was one of their accounts was uncalibrated. The only account we had was Dill, and their 5, their ogre player. All the other accounts we could not see. two of them had private accounts, and then one was just uncalibrated, which like we did due diligence. We reported to Seth before we played them, so like we could just like but we decided to play anyways, which was fine. And I 100% think we win both these games if certain things don't happen. I wish I could like release comms. I think Tim recorded the comms. Like the comms were just very scattered because we maybe played 2 games before this series together. Those games went decently. But we decided to drow them. And I wanted the matchup against Dill's Tiny because I don't think he's an offlane player. I'm not 100% sure.
No, he plays position 1 in AD2L and plays position 4 in RD2L.
Okay, yeah. So like I wanted to go 1-on-1 against him. So we decided to try lane. Mango's not a 1 player, so we wanted to try lane and get drow farm so we could technically win 3 lanes here. Which I think we honestly I won my lane. I think we lost bottom. Just because
We
they
lost
decided
bottom, drew mid.
they decided to try
From
lane
the-
us. And which I actually don't think we lose that. We had a wyvern drow. We had a wyvern drow. I forget the other hero. We had a wyvern
You-
drow though.
You guys were just getting bamboozled by the techies.
Yeah, the techies was actually just really destroying us. Which, well, like, this game came really close. Like, we killed Tinker like 3 or 4, like maybe twice without buyback. We go down mid, and we're just getting ratted by this Naga. And I won't say who, but someone on our team is losing their mind, like just tilted out of his mind, like really just not wanting to play the game. So like cool thing about AD2L is technically regular season doesn't matter. Like everyone makes playoffs, so like
Only matters for the ego.
exactly. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Let's just run it down mid and try to outrat this Naga. We all had BKBs. Their glyph was literally like, I'm pretty sure I looked at the replay. They had 30 seconds left on their glyph, and we couldn't make it down mid in time. So they had glyph. They had glyph up for that push. Which if they don't have glyph up, I think we just win the game. But I think we could have fought them also. Like I was really strong. Like I was level 25 when the highest level in the game was 21 on a Huskar with Satanic, BKB, Solar Crest, and Armlet. I'm at that point I'm the strongest hero on the map, and it was actually just impossible to like do anything, push your objective when there's like a Tinker and a Tiny in the game. And I think Tinker and a Techies, and I think we got pipe really late also, which was a problem. We decided to make our Viper Viper was sort of the aura carrier, I guess.
You made him the position 3.
Exactly. Like the thing is, positions on our team are really scattered because you'll see like if you look at most of our games last season, Mango was out of the cores. Mango was the bottom of our net worth. It just always happens like this. Like I like which I love. That's why I like playing with Mango and Fireman. Like I'm giving space. Like technically, 3 is supposed to be obviously the the aura builder, the initiator, but like it's the team the roles are sort of split. I don't know like what pro team to like equate our play style to, but like it worked for us. Just because I
Any team with ice on,
yeah, exactly. Ice like Ice is given space. I would say like 3-3 even maybe like 3-3 old 3-3 when he just like played Legion. It's sort of like that, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think it would have worked if we had our old roster, but like we're playing with a new Pause 2 who just shout out to MT7. He tried like well I guess I'll move on to game 2. Game 2 we picked I think we first two'd Faceless AA. Just because that's a really strong combo. That like Faceless is a disgusting hero, I think. I really wanted to pull out Chin actually, but no one could play Chin. But and the Kato was always banned, so it was gonna be we wanted to pull out Kato Bristleback, but Kato was just banned, so that was like taken out. So we pulled out Faceless AA, and then we put out the Razor, and then everyone was like Laundry was not the pick. I 100% think that I this game was winnable. I know Mad Max you watched this game like heavily.
Yep.
There's a point in the game where you see me lose track of my hero. I have Ags, I have a 6-slotted bear, and I lose track of my hero, and I run into 2 heroes at Roshan, and we just lose because I have no buyback. But this game was 100% winnable. Just because like I was the strongest hero on the map again. Like, and I got tri-laned that game too. But like the reason I just didn't join fights was because Razor was owning. Like we were out trading them with just we were 4v5ing them and out trading them. So like at that point we had a strong enough lineup where I could just farm my Radiance. I didn't really want to join a fight till I have Radiance. Like once the hero gets Radiance, it's sort of his item spike. And we had, I think we had 2 racks on them, and they had like 1 racks on us, and they just decided to end. We had our tier 2s up for like 50 minutes in that game. We had such good lane control and map control. We just got no buyback, the no buyback curse. But there was no specific reason to picking Lone Druid except that he just garbages on Wraith King. Like at most stages of the game, that hero just trashes on Wraith King because in lane, the Wraith King can't really handle you. Even if I was tri lanes, I knew that I would still come out of that lane with a lot of farm, just because I can't really be pressured. And that could either be a skill thing or just because I feel really comfortable on Lone Druid, and that allowed Razor to run around, and it also freed up our safe lane because I'm pretty sure our safe lane was Void AA, and we tri lane for a little bit, and then we rotated a support down bottom, which I didn't really want. I sort of want XP on Lone Druid, but we decided to just to free up get 6 on Void really fast, and 6 on AA because those heroes need a lot of XP. But that tri lane freed up Mango, which I thought Mango should just be able to carry this game. Like Wraith King does not like you can get chronoed, but you can come back to life. But like there's a point in the game where like Faceless Void and Fireman touched on this. Faceless Void can just like bash you like both your lives, and you're like dead in seconds. Like doesn't know bad your BKB. That's what I thought would happen. And then we just took really bad fights. I think we definitely took 2 bad Roshan fights. That cost us our lead. Not cost us the game, but they cost us our lead. Which I'd probably take those back. But I for all in all, week 1, for only playing like 2 games together, I think I'm gonna go ahead and say I still think we're the strongest team in Contender. Just from looking, I think like there's just skill wise and just like overall and I can't really say this because we don't have a full team, or we our team will probably swap. But certain positions on our team are very like there's no one that comes close. And then those certain positions, just because I think that we play a lot different. Like I don't think we play like anyone in Contender. And that I think that may work for us this season. But I guess that ends my rant on what happened to the 2-0. It was a great game. They played very well. There was a lot of BM. We were very salty, just because we didn't know who they were until we came in, and that hopefully that changes. I looked at the roster actually today. They have 5 players on their roster now. I think Seth talked to them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess hopefully we'll see them in the playoffs again or sometime. I know that we are a playoff. I know that we are later into the season team. Sure, we have to play a lot more together. But yeah, just look out for our us adding some new players, some old faces, hopefully. But yeah, thank you for having me, Mad Max and Fireman. Appreciate you guys having me on your little podcast or whatever. Just to explain my thoughts on Contender and on the game.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah.
No problem, Bliss.
I don't know about you, but that's kind of interesting. I obviously played with them last season, and I hope they do well this season.
Mhm.
I definitely think
They've-
they're
they've-
one of the better teams. I don't think
They've got the appetite.
I don't think I would say you are the best team.
Yeah, I mean, I would
And
definitely. I mean, I felt a little humbled by going 1-1 after
Mhm.
picking myself as
Yeah.
A tier and my opponent as C tier. But
yeah,
these guys, they lose 0-2 and they're still convinced. But I mean,
Rhino's
they-
like
they-
that though.
definitely, I could definitely see them getting some better results later on, and like they they're They blame their lack of experience just playing together as a team, but
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of teams are going through the same kind of issues or kind of working things out, getting used to playing with each other. So I expect a lot of these teams are gonna the level of games is definitely gonna consistently rise across the field, I think.
Yeah, once you have a team together, I don't think you can say you're the best team if you're making possible swaps, and you obviously you lost too, and like they were long games, so like it'll be curious. I think they're probably a top team, and I think they're gonna get a lot of W's. You just have to find 5, and you have to practice. I think that's the most important thing, and not even practicing as a team. I think practicing as a team's important. I also think people actually playing the games matter as well. And I like if you play 10 solo games a week and you play, let's say, 4 as a team, it's better than just playing 4 as a team. You know, you got to keep that mechanical skill up. You need to know uh, keep up with the meta a lot of the time, and that's my opinion on it though, on teams and being better. I definitely am shocked by some results and the 1-1s and stuff. So it'll be really interesting. Are we gonna quickly talk about week 2, or what do you think is your game plan? Hello? Am I just talking to myself right now, Mad Max? Yikes. Yeah, I saw that, Seth. I thought we would. I'm gonna just type in over on his and say, "Did you mute your mic?"
I got disconnected. I lost the internet connection for a blip there.
Oh,
I'm back though. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can. You're a little fuzzy, but you should be fine. Are we talking about week 2 games?
Yeah, let's go for week 2 games.
Seth pushed this
Um,
out for this, so we better do it.
yeah, I noticed. All right, so one second.
Yeah, no worries. Let me know when you're good. I'm just gonna say them. I'm not gonna post them on something. You know, that could be yours.
Well,
And
I have them all written up here. So we have Griffin versus Red 5. Griffin hasn't played yet. Red 5 got O2'd by Petting Zoo. It's a tough one to call, especially since we haven't seen Griffin play yet. But I think that if Red 5 have Dr. Geo back on the team, they should take this.
I think it's Red 5-2-0, but that's because I have Griffin
Yeah.
ranked really low as a team. I'm shocked, but that Red
Same,
5 got
same.
2-0'd. I had them as an A tier team, and they lost 2-0, and now they did lose Geo, but
Well, like I said, I'll
Yeah.
give him some leeway because the roster.
hmm
Petting Zoo reject versus Missing Skywalker Hands.
oh,
Missing Skywalker Hands definitely surprised me by how well they're playing, but Petting Zoo is definitely. I think Petting Zoo is a stronger team, but I think there's not enough of a clear difference between the teams.
that's a close call between the two. I'll just say 1-1, I guess. Maybe a slight 2-0. If I had to pick a 2-0
Yeah,
team, I
same.
think Petting Zoo might. Now, that might not be the
Yeah.
team you're picking, but it's 2-0 or 1-1. I don't think Petting Zoo gets 0-2'd. That is how I see it.
Yeah. If the team's going to 2-0, it's going to be Petting Zoo. But 1-1 to be safe. Now, results oriented thinkers versus my team. I don't think results oriented thinkers have played a game yet either. I think it's them versus Griffin. That's still yet to be played. I really don't know anything about these guys.
Well, they've played before, haven't they?
Yeah, but
Couple
I
seasons.
haven't ran into them really. They've never been in the same division or league.
Oh, okay. I had them as a not A team, 1-1. I'll just say 1-1. It's probably hard to rank your own team, and you don't want to sound too cocky. To be fair, if I was in the league, I'm saying my team's 2-0 in every team, regardless if my team was dog shit or not. But I think 1-1.
I'm gonna say 2-0. I think we're gonna learn from our mistakes from week 1 and tighten things up for week 2.
It's hard not
Just
to.
about
Listen. I understand picking your
Yeah.
team. It's hard to say my team's gonna lose a game. That's really hard to say.
Week 1 was a fluke.
Yeah, week 1's a fluke.
Misty Mountains versus Full Sticker. I think this one's an easy 2-0.
Yeah, I think it's easy
Misty
2-0 for
Mountains
Misty.
definitely playing pretty well. Full Sticker haven't really proven themselves yet. Bad Idea versus Semi Dream Team. Same situation as Petting Zoo versus Skywalker Hands, I think. Where it's most likely 1-1, but if a team's going to pull ahead and snatch the 2-0, it's probably going to be Semi Dream Team.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think Semi Dream Team, they're definitely up there. They were a team I almost wanted to put in the A tier, potentially, even this early. But we'll see. I think it's 2 or 1-1.
Season 26C versus Extra Lives. Same situation as my team. I think if S26C tighten up their game and stop making the mistakes, that if they become more cohesive, 100% they're going to win this. They're definitely they have the stronger players than Extra Lives, but Extra Lives might pull the same thing they pulled against Silver Breakfast Pandas.
Okay, I'm ready to say
They
this.
might catch
2-0. No questions asked over here. 2-0. I'm not even gonna go for a 1-1. So if season 26 champs lose a game, I'll do 5 push-ups. This series coming up, guys. Actually, no, I'll update the 5 push-ups to something else. That seems lame. I'll do something.
100.
Maybe I'll play a
There's a
Dota game.
challenge.
I'll play a Dota game.
Team Retro versus Silver Breakfast Pandas. It's
This
a hard
is
one.
this is a hard
especially
series.
Since Dell's going to be playing against himself.
Yeah, no, it'll be tough though. Team Retro 2-0, and
it depends on
Dill might have some insight in how their team runs.
a little bit.
And
maybe Dell's just going to ditch the Pandas and go play for Team Retro.
well, if that's what you got to do, get that extra win. Wins do matter, for seeding. Seeding does matter a little bit. Sometimes you can get an easier way to the championship because of it. But kind of, I'll go 1-1. I don't know which Dill will win. It's tough. Team Retro looked pretty good, and Silver Breakfast Pandas. I had them up there like season 26 champs. But
I'll be a little bit more optimistic for the Pandas. I think that
they're gonna
once again they're going to tighten up their game after week 1, not make the same mistakes they did because they're definitely they did have. Let's go for 2-0. I'm not 100% on that, but that's what I'll write down.
I got my 1-1. That I'm not writing down. Maybe I'll write them down after the stream ends.
Mittens versus Forglort.
Forglort 2-0.
Yeah, we haven't seen how Mittens are playing this season.
I was really high on Miss Gaming, and Forglort 2-0'd them. And easy 2-0 because Seth ain't playing as well, so. So that's my opinion.
There we go.
I'm actually kind of curious on this series next, Digital Habitat versus Miss Gaming, because I was high on them, and I think Digital Habitat's really good.
Yeah, I think it's 2-0 for Digital. I
think it's a 2-0 for Digital. It might be a 1-1. Miss Gaming could take 2 if they get their heads back in the game. I think they definitely have I think the players like the high MMR if they can sort it out, and that it kind of shows being able to play as a team is a little more important than just being good high MMR. Yeah. What is this? Tyrants versus Instigators. Who did?
I think it's 1-1 or 2-0 for Tyrants.
Yeah, I think so. I think it might. It's tough. Tyrants got to win. So, I mean, yeah, I think Tyrants with the slight edge for the 2-0. It's hard to do these ones. I like best of threes more because then you're like, hey, you have a winner.
Yeah.
2 games, it's like, well,
It's two. It's 1 of 2 outcomes here. It's 1 of 3.
yeah. You
50%
can have
more
a,
accurate,
you can have a,
or 33% more accurate.
yeah. Lemon snow cones versus the National Bandwagons Society. Both teams are 1-1,
Tones, I think.
but I think Lemon snow cones has been around for a while, and I think they're gonna get back into it.
More
And
mid-tide hunter.
2-0, 1-1. You know, that's not
Alright.
bad. You
What do you
know,
think? What do you think the 3 strongest teams are from the strongest team from each division?
okay, you sound like a robot at the moment. I apologize
That's
for
not bad.
mentioning that, but the best teams in each division. Oh God, can we maybe put? I think Division 1's
Yeah,
the
let's put it
toughest
off.
division for Glort or Digital Habitat. You know, I don't want to. I haven't seen Digital Habitat play. Maybe we just leave them there as the best in their division.
Yeah, on second thought, I think I might put this off for later, kind of go over it a little bit more in detail throughout the week and just not do it on stream.
And then Division 2, I don't think he can. I can't give it to. I don't care what Rhino says about his team. He can't give it to a team that just got 2-0'd and says there's going to be team changes. Is it Team Retro or Semi Dream Team for Division 2?
I still favor the Breakfast Pandas. I think the one loss they have was very not enough to really put them down too much. They were ahead during the game, just kind of one bad fight ish.
Yeah,
Took
it's
them
true.
out.
They could. I'm just kind of looking at how Team Retro
I-
2-0'd season 26 champs, you know, so maybe there's something
Yeah,
there. It's tough. It's early in the season. You can't. It's hard to pick.
Part of that win is attributed to Dill, who's Breakfast Pandas. So
Yep. Yeah. When Dill faces Dill this week, we'll know which team Dill will be picking to stay on. And Petting Zoo. It's tough because I thought Red 5 standing by was going to be a lot better.
yeah,
And they got 2-0'd by Petting Zoo.
I'll give the crown to Petting Zoo for this week.
I believe it or
My
not,
team needs to earn it back.
I would have given it to Red 5 or your team, and Petting Zoo is kind of like third. Like, actually, your division, I had the top 3 teams, and there's the bottom 3. And, you know, like, not
Yeah,
saying which
fair
team's the best, just Petting Zoo, your team, and Red 5, I think, are the top 3. And then the other 3 teams
I
are the
can-
bottom 3. And that's an early prediction, which can be completely wrong. It doesn't
I
help.
can agree with that.
Yeah. So,
All right.
do you
I
want?
think that's a wrap then. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's good to do Contender with you. I'm gonna actually do a quick thing about Intermediate.
All right. Well, I don't know anything about intermediate, so I'm gonna have to dip out and leave you on your own. Unfortunately, I apologize.
No, don't be. I say, you know, it's Intermediate's like 5 minutes. No worries. It was good. Solid content. Maybe we'll have a third person next time.
You better. All right. Well, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for joining me. And have a good night.
You as well. Go Contender. Good luck, all teams. Okay, guys, we're going to be doing quickly Season 26 Intermediate League. Not too much to do here. There's only 6 teams. First off, number 1 team, Cine Gang. Look at this team. Guys, look at this team. Urbo, where the fuck is Carl? They got the sauce. They're a team. They did a convincing 2-0 against Team members next. TG Gaming. They smoked them. They pooped on them. Urbo, good, really good support. We're just doing really fast. One, Team Umbra, they getting a nice little 2-0 there against Test Kitchen. No, almost nothing about their series. Not even looking. Team Ember, I think they had a kind of interesting team. A revamp. You know, he's been in AD2L a long time. Bouncing between intermediate and contender kind of type league. It's hard. When you're around that MMR, it's like, hey, do I go for it, play harder? Do I make it? They won one. You know, I got nothing. And then we have the 2 teams 0. So all intermediate teams played 6 teams. Small league, whatever. Week 2 is Cine Gang versus Team Member. I'm sorry, Revamp. I think you're gonna get 2-0'd. I think the mid. You know, actually, you know, I should look at these where they played their game right here. This was destruction. This like their first 2 games. I think Carl is captaining. Yeah, he did ask me to stand in. I declined because I had a friend over. But their mid player popped off. Their carry popped off, and their offlaner popped. They destroyed. Their mid played in both games and played extremely well. Like this is textbook. We are ahead of you, and you know I kind of looked at them, you know, and sometimes that happens. Cine Gang was ready. Their drafts are like when you have 4 people as core, like 19-3, 15-4, like I look at this draft. I kind of see where they're going with it, and sometimes that happens to you. So you know, grats on them. And Team Umbra versus TG Gaming. That might also be a 2-0 Team Umbra, winning 2 games. Harbinger is on it. He said he wanted intermediate content, so I'm bringing it to him. I've seen this name around, Valetsko, and so you know he's got a team going on. So Team Umbra, another 2-0. So I think we're gonna have 2 teams with 4 wins. And then the final series is TN Tech Esports Club versus Tech Kitchen. One team has 1 win, the other has 0. I think it's going to be actually a close series. I think we could see one team with 3 wins, one team with 2, we will see one team with at least 2 wins. Like we could have 2 teams with 1. I think we're gonna end up with 1 or 2 teams are still gonna have 0 points, depending on how well Test Kitchen shows up against TN Tech Esports Club. But I actually think the 2 teams that won 2-0 are probably gonna be the better 2 teams. Cine Gang probably the best intermediate team. We don't have a divine team this season. 5 heroic teams. Week 1, I know nothing about them, but Glaze Gaming has yet to play their game, and Glaze Gaming usually dominates the league. And it looks like a team's gonna have a bye every other week just because there's 5 teams. And Team Psych 2-0'd Mulas, so Team Psych, you know, we'll see how. I can't even tell you. I don't know who they are or what, but Glaze Gaming 2-0 in them. Won't be a surprise. Team Psych probably has the advantages because they've won a couple of games. And Glaze Gaming, I think, will get 2-0. So that's kind of Contender League Plus. Did that really fast. Thank you all for watching. My crappy display capture. No cuts. Most likely there will be an update or there'll be a YouTube. And I'll kind of just post that around. Thank you all for watching. Mad Max was the guy that was with us for the first hour and 15 minutes. Appreciate it. Obviously disagreed with him on some stuff. He puts a little more effort into his stuff. I just like talking about it. But maybe I'll put some copies up in the content chat. Thanks for all watching. Okay, bye.